YouTube, what up? Thanks for clicking this video. You have found our newest playlist, Cool Down. This is a video, but more so audio-driven playlist. On this episode, we sit down with Alec Hohnadell. If you've been around drifting for 5 years or so, you've definitely heard his name. He's one of the youngest and most accomplished drifters. So we got to sit down and talk about where he came from and where he is at today. So let's get to it. Sweet. All right, so preface, there's a shooting range and a highway for those who are tuning in. We are here at the Emerald Coast Dragway for the Klutch Kickers event with Alec Hohnadell. We decided to take a moment, it's like lunch break or whatever, so we're just kind of kicking it and have some conversation with Alec.
It's been a beautiful Sunday here. I mean, a little hot.
Yeah.
Got a nice breeze going in. But
yeah.
Oh no, the turnout's been great.
Florida's always nice, you know?
For the most part.
He said, yeah, I guess I'm in Texas, so yeah.
You know what? I love watching like thunderstorms and rain and lightning.
Me too.
In a way, it's always beautiful.
Yep.
And you always get different kinds of weather.
Yeah.
It could be super cold in the winter, then it's going to be super hot in the summer.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's always something you can do in Florida too.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I wanted to dig in a little bit on Alec's past and then present, which was super cool. I guess I was a little bit, how do I word it? I drifted a little sooner than you. Like I've been drifting a little longer than you.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to watch you kind of earn credibility and your driving progressing, and so that's super cool. Maybe you want to give us a little background on just how you even got into drifting?
So when I was born into a family of racing, and my uncle was a professional motocross racer, and then my other uncle raced sprint cars. My dad did boats. So it was kind of, when I was 4 years old, they threw me into the pack of wolves on a dirt bike and was like, go have some fun. You know? So I did that for almost 10 years. I think it was right at 9 years. And so my parents saw these kids getting hurt, and this is all local stuff. So we saw our friends getting hurt, and so they took me off of that, and then that's when I transitioned into jet ski racing. Well, that's when I also got sick.
Yeah.
So I did about 4 years of that, and then ended up having a back surgery. So I had to quit. I tried to do one more race after.
Yeah.
So I think it was like, just got bit by an ant. I think it was like 2 months later.
Yeah.
And might have been too soon. So I just tried to do one race. I couldn't even finish the race. So I pulled off. Kind of got discouraged for a few months, you know, just kind of laying around, because it's all I've done since I was 4 years old was race.
Right.
So then
that's something to talk about, you know, like in drifting we find kids who don't have any motorsports background, and then you have some like yourself who strictly come from a racing background. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And
you think that gave you any like edge in the competitive, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you get that mentality.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of learn how to deal with the pressure, the stress, the anxiety, you know, because we all get it. It's just how you're going to deal with it and how it's going to show.
Yeah.
And so I think with having that 10 years of racing by the time I was 14 under my belt, it's going to help in some way.
I think it helped a lot. You know, especially in drifting, when it's like, go, you know, you get your 40-second run, you definitely performed really well under a lot of pressure.
The hard thing about drifting too is that you don't really get a warm up. You know,
you don't.
You're so cold by the time it's top 32, and then especially top 16. It's like I haven't driven in 3-4 hours. And
man, the worst one for me, I remember Long Beach. The way that the venue is set up, you literally, you know, pull the car off the trailer and you have your little burnout box and you're on. I remember being like, wow, you know, there's nothing, like no warm up at all.
I just see walls and more walls. And supposed to do some drifting in between.
All right, so let's go back. So you're racing jet skis, you get sick, and that had something to do with the water.
Yeah. So the BP oil spill actually happened in Louisiana.
What year was that?
2011.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was 2011.
Okay.
And so that was when I first started getting into jet ski racing. But what had happened was the oil spill really wasn't near us, but they were bringing the stuff to sink the oil. The barges were going right where I was practicing.
Got it.
So I would see these barges, but I mean, to me, it's just another barge going through the harbor.
Yeah.
And so I'd be training 2 or 3 hours. Well, they were leaking that disbursements or the stuff to sink the oil off the side of the boat, and that's exactly where I was swimming, or in the water.
Got it.
So it was kind of weird the way it happened, and that's why it took so long for the doctors to kind of find out what it was.
Right.
And then once they kind of ran this one test, they were able to see exactly what chemical that was poisoning.
And then they connected that dot
Yeah.
on, oh, we dropped this here, you were training here. That all makes sense.
Because at the medical facility I was at, there was actually quite a few helicopter pilots there.
Yeah.
And what they had done is they flew through the disbursements.
Got it.
And only one time, and this dude was in a wheelchair spazzing. I mean, it was scary. He's like, I was like you 8 months ago. He's like, and this all happened within a 6 month span.
Wow.
So it's just,
Yeah.
I'm glad we got it figured out.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was born with the Chiari, so it was kind of like a toss-up of what's causing what.
Okay.
Because the Chiari in itself causes a lot of issues.
Okay.
And actually more people have that than they think.
And what is that? I don't know.
So it's where your brain tonsils hang too low.
Okay.
And they cause a lot of tension on your cerebellum.
Okay.
It's a lot of technical terms.
I got it. Yeah,
But there's
yeah.
I guess it creates a big sac of like a big buildup in your spinal sac.
Okay.
And I guess whenever you have too much buildup, it just causes a lot of pressure.
Pressure.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So I can't go diving too deep. It's,
Yeah.
I was honestly scared to get on planes for a while.
Yeah.
So it's just anything with weird, where you have to pressure your
Yep.
ears and everything.
Yep.
I just kind of get worried with.
Dang. So through all of that, it kickstarted your drifting career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I went over to CFRC.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I went. So CFRC was my first event that I watched. I think it was Frankenslide.
Yeah.
And that was 2012, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes
I believe
sense.
it was.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get a ride along there. I just went over there and I watched it because my cousin was actually competing in the Minios for motocross.
Okay.
So the little.
That's right. So the next that you hear dirt bikes next door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's actually a separate track. So I think he was in Gainesville.
Okay. Okay.
And then CFRC was in Orlando.
Got it.
But I saw a flyer and I was like, we're going to go to this for sure.
Yeah.
So me and my dad went out there, enjoyed the entire event.
Yeah.
And then I came back home, and it was actually at this track where I had my first ride along, but there wasn't nearly what there was here,
Right.
and what there is now.
I heard it was like 2 turns.
Yeah, and it was like a little donut, and then you exit.
Yeah.
But to me at the time, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
And you might know him, Dwayne Ramsey.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He commented yesterday on my post and was like, way back in the day,
Yeah.
it did not look like that.
Yeah. So I rode with him in that little banana Cresta
Yes,
he had.
yes.
And man, I remember having the time of my life, and he was a super rad dude, and just gave me.
He still is.
Yeah, he
Shout
still
out
is.
Dwayne.
He's still an amazing dude. I love him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that kind of kick-started everything, and so thanks to Dwayne, now I'm very broke. But I've had a lot of fun doing it.
And then you were just eye on the prize.
Yeah.
Then you built a car.
Mm-hmm.
First one was a 14, am I wrong?
Yeah. So actually, yeah, my first car was S13 though.
Okay.
So no one really knew about this car. It was like a matte black,
Got
just
it.
very beat S13. I got it for like $1,700.
Yeah.
And it was single cam, and I didn't do anything to the car. I just went out and I found a dirt lot, and I went and clutch kicked it around and just had
You're
some
like,
fun.
do something like this.
Yeah. So I had that, and I was like, this ain't working.
Yeah.
So I went on Zilvia, and I found a blue S14 Zenki,
Yeah.
and it had a KA turbo in it, and it made like 415, 420, so it was actually pretty stout.
Right.
And I got it for a good deal, and it was in down south, so I went to go pick it up. It just never ran right, so it never ran right. So I took it to Juku. They tried doing a few things to it. First drift event that night, I blew the motor. I was like, damn it.
Classic.
Yeah,
Classic move.
K.
Yeah.
And I was like, do I put an SR in it? Do I go JZ's? And then we decided on LS.
Yep.
And Juku was like, just make something consistent, reliable,
Yep.
something you go out, just turnkey,
Yep.
start it up and have some fun.
Yep.
So we did that, and then I had that car for about a year.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you remember, but that car got totaled on the trailer.
I do remember that.
Yeah, so it was on the way to get wrapped.
Yep.
And I guess the ball sheared on the trailer, or something happened.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. And the car came off the trailer somehow and just got destroyed. So Juku built me another S14 that they had in 20 days.
Yeah.
Using all the same parts, but they did the chassis work and everything.
Yeah.
And then had a Pro-Am event in like 4 days after that.
Right.
So it was
Sick.
they really helped me out with
Yeah.
building a new car.
Yeah.
Allowing me to really get my license through that car.
For sure. That is so cool.
That was kind of like the start, and it was hectic for a while.
Yeah. You got your first, like, this is how drifting goes. Yeah.
And I remember at CFRC, I'd go up there because I lived in Orlando at the time.
Yeah.
So I'd go out there, and D'Onofrio was out there, Gooden was out there. And I looked up to them. Those are my idols.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You just watch them drive me like, I want to be like them.
Yeah.
You know, and then you start driving with them, you learn.
Yeah.
That's one thing about drifting. I feel like the more you drive or the more you ride with somebody, it's like you can learn a lot.
For sure.
Rather than trying to go do it by yourself.
Well, and that's interesting. I was thinking of, I know the ants out here kind of
I'm getting bit.
sitting down is nice, but you know. Are you good?
I've been bit like 15 times.
Oh,
I'm trying to hide it, but I'm good.
We can hop up if you need.
I'm good.
You all right?
Cool. It's Florida.
But yeah, like I wanted to talk a little bit about too, like, you know, when we're driving and getting into drifting, the pro-am, the grassroots. But what was interesting for me watching you was when you jumped into the pro class.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what were your thoughts? Like, how did you feel when you were like, wow, you know, now I'm pro, and like, what does this feel like? Like, did you think it was gonna feel any certain way? Like,
it was weird.
A dream come true, or?
I felt like an underdog because of my age.
Yeah.
You know, because I was really young. So I came in there.
Remind me, you got into Pro 1 at 19?
I think 19, 18, something like that.
Okay.
And so at the time, I was just like, everybody around me is like 24 to 30, 40 years old. And I was like, they've been doing this for a long time, you know, and I only went through one Pro-Am season before I got my license. So I was like, I'm still new. I still have a lot to learn in this sport. But it kind of goes back to what we just said is when you drive with somebody that is really good, you're going to learn their tendencies and kind of grow from it.
Yeah.
So I knew if I just kind of played it safe, kept the car safe, and then go out there and total the thing on the first lap, then we should be good, you know? And so I went out there, had a decent qualifying. I was just glad to make it in the show.
This is Long Beach?
Yeah, in Long Beach.
Cool.
So just glad to make it in the show. I think I qualified like 28th.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, I did it.
Yeah.
I can actually qualify, and we're here. And that was back then when we had enough drivers to fill a whole bracket.
Yeah, like you had to make 32.
Yeah. And so I think my first battle was with Ryan Turk, and I got knocked out, of course.
Right.
I was so pumped. Like, I didn't total the car.
Yeah.
It was a decent run, you know, and then after that, we were like, okay, now we're going to start making adjustments to the car.
Yeah.
So that's when we went from, what was it? I'm trying to think, GK Tech. So I had that angle kit on there.
Yeah.
And that's when I went to Weissfab.
Yep.
And that was a huge learning curve.
Yeah.
And my whole first year of FD, I didn't make it past top 32 points.
Right.
You know, it's just
that's kind of a pattern. You know?
Yeah.
Getting into 16 is a big deal.
Mm-hmm. And once you do, it makes it feel like, damn, I can do this.
Yes.
You know.
Well, you did. You went like got a 16, got an 8, right?
Yeah.
What was your highest finish?
Second. So it was second, and then I had a third, and I think I had a fourth. And that kind of pissed me off because I still have not got number one.
Of course, man.
Jeez, is it so competitive? You know, you get to that grade 8 stage, and you're like, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Now you're not cold. Now everybody's hot.
Yeah.
You know, and they're learning the course and they're dialing things in. It's like, you really got to bring it on. Like, it's going to be your A game. It doesn't really matter who it's with.
Right. No, they're all on.
Yeah.
Everyone's on now.
I think with drifting, though, in like competitive sense, it's just hard to be consistent.
It is, man. There's a lot of variables. You know, it's like, and that's kind of what you were mentioning. You know, some of the guys who've done it the longest, they have their data. They have their, you know, they know what they're doing, and you know now after a year or two of it, like you can catch up quick. You know, so.
For me, it's just hard because I'm not like mechanically inclined at all.
Right.
So it's just I have to kind of relay my message to a team in a driver sense.
Yeah.
And then they have to kind of change that into a mechanic sense.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just if I were able to tell them, hey, it's this doing that, and I need you to do this.
Do you think that there's any like advantage or disadvantage to being mechanically like? I'm similar, right? Like I would rather not turn a wrench.
Yeah.
And I wonder, is that good or bad? Like, you think that's a good thing or?
I think it's a good thing because you don't overthink it.
Right.
You know, you're not like, what is it? You're just like, I feel something weird. Now it's time to find it.
Yeah.
You know, but if you overthink it and it's something kind of major, or if you think it's something major and it's really something small, then you just kind of overthought this whole thing.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
But being able to fix it yourself would be nice.
Yeah.
I would screw my car up completely.
Right. Yeah. Me too.
Never run again.
Putting tires on backwards and things, you know.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm trying to think.
And then you started with BMX and skateboarding.
I started skateboarding.
Skateboarding.
Yeah. So I was just a grassroots skateboarder. or grassroots skateboarder. I was just a skateboarder, and then my buddy basically picked me up, took me out drifting. We just spun out a bunch, right?
Yeah.
And just hooked, and then I just worked my way up, you know. So definitely a little bit of a longer journey, you know, like on my end, but similar patterns. You know, I think I definitely got around the right people, fly on the wall, learned, and it was really, really cool. So I don't know, do you have any input for kids coming up, like that want to go pro? Can we shout out to anybody that's like 3 years off of pro racing? Like, what would we say?
I'd say, like what you're trying to do, what I'm trying to do is like focus on social media, making a name for yourself, because these sponsors really want to see what they can get in return.
That's been the biggest thing for me.
And it's been the biggest thing for me. I wouldn't be able to do it if Instagram wasn't a thing. You know, it's just, you hate social media at some point, but you love it at another, because it really does help you in some ways. And so I think if you can find a way to be different, whether it's with your videos, whether it's with the way you make your photos, you know, something, make it clean, make it different, you know, make it stand out.
Be confident with your style and run it. For sure.
And don't worry about hate. Everybody's occasionally going to get hate. You know, it's just kind of brush it off. Don't engage into it. It just makes things worse. For sure. And I've seen a lot of drivers where they just get too deep into commenting back and arguing with these internet warriors. It's just like...
and then your mind thinks about it, and then it's... I know. I see that happening a lot still.
And another thing is too, is like whenever you finally get to that stage, don't focus on the crowd and the bigger picture. Stay focused on your task.
That's what I was telling someone the other day. Like, I was literally saying, like, when we're in competition and we're on the line, for me personally, it's like, how does the ground feel? Like, how's the car idling? Like, all of the little details about what you're about to do versus like thinking about what people think about. Exactly. So
I focus on my breathing a lot, just in and out, deep breaths, and then I close my eyes and I pull my e-brake 3 times just to make sure it's good. I don't know why.
Okay.
And then I just put it in gear, and then we're ready to go.
You visualize the whole track?
No, because if I do, I get like, I think I'm ODD or
OCD.
OCD, ODD. No, OCD.
One of those.
One of them things. But so whenever I do that, I feel like I just lose track of what I was thinking of. You know?
That's interesting.
But it's like whenever you're on track, you're so zoned out.
Oh yeah.
You know.
No, it feels like a dream. Like, I'll go back and study my GoPro footage. Or the in-car or whatever, and it's just like, I see my head and I'm looking around a lot, and I'm just like, but I felt like I was calm. Yeah. So.
Do you ever think going up to the line, like not up to the line, but like up to initiation, like, what am I going to eat later? Like, I'm like, I should be thinking of these things before I'm going on.
If I can get the car like settled, I'll have a side thought.
Exactly.
On initiation, if you're worrying about a cheeseburger, that's cool.
It's happened before. And it immediately goes away. But it's like, as soon as like I'm on,
you're like, damn, I'm hungry. What up? All right, so let's get into a little background on the current. So like, you took a season off drifting. And that was not by your choice.
No. So I started having the complications in like October, December-ish of last year. And so what had happened was I took a trip down to Florida to see my family. And I got bit by a tick, and I didn't even really notice. I didn't notice at all. And so I went back to Vegas, and then I just lived life normal. I went to work, everything. But slowly started getting worse and kind of fading down. You know, just didn't feel myself, just felt groggy. You know, my head has always had a headache and just muscle aches. And I think that goes back to the Chiari as well.
Got it.
And it just reignited that. And so I was talking to my parents. I'm like, I'm just not feeling good. So I flew back down, stayed for about a week, and just kind of calmed down. And that's when I was like, I think I'm gonna move back home. You know, just get back kind of where I was at. Just try to focus on one thing.
And you were living in Vegas?
Okay. So I was living in Vegas.
What brought you there?
So I went over there for SEMA. What year was that? I think 2015 or something. And maybe it was 2016. And I went by this place called Speed Vegas. And it was like 1 in the morning. It was super late. I was like, what is this? I thought it was a GoPro track.
Right.
So I went over there, checked it out. There's Ferraris. At the time, they were doing a Rolls Royce event. So there's like 20 Rolls Royces. I was like, something's going on here. So I came back the next day, and I started talking to them, and they were like, you want to be an instructor? I was like, yeah, I want to be an instructor. This would be awesome. So 2 months later, I found a house out there, rented it, and moved out there.
Awesome.
Worked there for a little less than a year. So my first or second week there, those 2 people died.
Yeah.
And there was an incident, and so they shut down for a little bit, and we had to go through the counseling and everything.
Yeah.
Got back, and things weren't the same.
Yeah.
You know, and that job is very scary. Honestly, I would never go back to being an instructor.
Yeah.
Just because of the people, especially in Vegas, where they're hungover.
Yeah.
You get a lot of people from different countries, which is completely fine, but
Yeah.
they don't speak English sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and they're trying to drive this Lamborghini.
Got
or
it.
Ferrari,
Got it. Yeah.
And you don't have any. Well, at Speed Vegas, we had foot control.
Yeah.
We had a brake, so you can kind of control it in that way. But whenever I moved to Dream Racing,
Yeah.
it was like a higher tier.
Yeah. I can relate to that actually. Like riding in a drift car versus driving one
Yeah.
is scary.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I'm assuming they're wealthy enough to run Ferraris, so they're like, I got this,
Yeah.
and you're all
exactly. It's like you can only say so much, and they're only going to listen so much.
Right.
You know.
Right.
If they miss it within that 2-second time period of braking, you're blowing that turn.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Yeah.
just after every day of doing that, and it's 115 degrees in
Yeah.
Vegas. And the race cars at Dream Racing didn't have any AC. They're
Yeah.
legit like old Super Trofeo cars.
Yeah.
So we'd hop in those, and it's slick tires, and these people don't know anything about slick tires.
Right.
You know, so you'd 80 miles an hour spinning out and stuff. So I did that for 2 years, and then I moved back to Florida.
Yeah.
And then got bit by the tick, and the name of the I don't want to call it disease, but like illness is
Yeah.
rickettsia or something like that. It's a really weird word.
Okay.
But it's just a different kind of tick that you get bit by, and just that reignited everything. So I was like, let's focus on health right now.
Yeah.
Kind of focus on myself.
Yep.
I knew everybody in FD
Yeah.
kind of stand behind me. You
Yeah,
know, no
of
one's going to be
course.
like, oh, what the hell's going on?
Of course. Yeah.
It's just, it
Yeah.
sucks for me because I haven't driven since Atlanta.
Right.
That was
Right.
the last event.
So where do you see yourself going now? Like what's 2020 for Alec?
I'm not sure yet. Just kind of want to take a step back and
Yeah.
kind of look and see, one, how health is doing.
Right.
You know, make sure everything's good.
Right.
But do I want to go out and have some fun for a year, you know,
Right.
and maybe chill,
Yeah.
you know, maybe do more videos,
Yeah.
be a little bit more personable?
Yeah.
Or do you just want to stay in that competitive mode and keep
Right.
just chasing after that number one spot?
Well, so you have so like I know generally motorsports, right? October, November, December, we're all SEMA, we're planning 2020.
Mhm.
Is it difficult not knowing exactly what you're gonna do? Like, do you have sponsors that got your back no matter what you decide, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how do you? I guess you're in a unique spot, right? You're like, I might do this, I might do that. How does that work?
Yeah, so thankfully with my sponsors, like I've kind of kept the same ones the whole journey. Granted,
Yeah.
there's been a few changes here and there,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
for the most part, they've always been on the car, and thankfully those people just, I feel like, will always stand behind me.
right,
Do I think they're extremely happy about the situation? No.
right,
Would anybody be? No.
right,
You know, but is it just something that happened? It's not my choice. Yeah, and I'm still trying to do things to keep them happy.
Right.
You know,
right.
I would love to get the Z bill and go out and not have to worry about that being my only car.
Right.
You know, like the FD car. Just go get a Z, stock VQ, you know, just
Yep.
go have some fun with the sponsors on the door.
Yeah,
Do like what we're doing, making videos.
Exactly.
Just focus on social media.
yeah,
'Cause
cool.
I think social media is really what they want.
I think so too. I mean, I think TV and radio and all that's shifting, and now YouTube and all of this new social platforms are
Yeah.
where the attention's at, and I think you're doing a good job at that too.
And at FD, we really wouldn't be able to get this time together.
Right.
You know, it's like, let's chill, let's kind of
Right.
take a second,
Right.
make an interview.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's
for
just-
sure.
FD, it's like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
We got this, and then it's Sunday and you're leaving.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like
And you're competing, and so
Yeah.
screw you, you know. Yeah.
Unless you need a part, then okay.
Right. All right. Okay.
And that's when you come out here, everybody's so friendly.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's like, let me help you. Do you want to ride along? Do you
Yeah.
want this? It's like,
For sure.
this is why I like to be
Yeah,
around.
for sure. Well, hey, I appreciate you talking to us.
Anytime.
Super cool,
Anytime.
man.
Thank you for coming out to the Panhandle.
Yeah, I'm excited. This new track is cool. Super big upgrade for top ends, right?
Yeah.
That's super rad. Klutch Kickers, killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
So hopefully tomorrow they might have dirt racing. So you'll check it out.
Oh yeah, sick. I'm going back to Texas.
Oh, come on. You got to check out some oval tracks.
I'm out, dude.
Go see some fights.
We've been on the road for a bit, so
Yeah, I feel that. that.
get home and do some off-season work. So
That's another hard part about FD is the traveling. You know,
Yeah.
when you drive your own stuff, you're like,
oh man, me and Sammy Tiger, we were talking, and he was saying every FD event is like 2 weeks.
yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like 1 week travel, 1 week prep the car.
Yeah.
Like every round is 2 weeks. You know.
Then you got to get home, make sure everything's clean, get the trailer reorganized. You know, it's
Yeah.
just- there's a lot more behind the scenes.
Yeah, for sure. We'll wrap this thing up, but yeah, I just wanted to thank you for sitting down with us and kicking it.
Anytime.
Just relaxed conversation, you know. It's good to hear from you and let people know what's going on. It's cool.
Likewise.
For sure.
Now it's time to go have fun and
Let's
stretch the
get it.
tires.
All right, dog.
Thank you.
Get out of these ants.
Yeah.
Shit.
Looks like I got red pop.
I look down at like 5 on me.